Good morning, y'all. We headed out here, me and old Clay. I had a trail cam up on that spot that we hunted the last time we were in here, and I was so discouraged about the spot that I never even checked the card. So last night I decided to go ahead and pop the card in and check it. Happened to be some really good stuff on there. So we're coming back in here, got a little game plan, and we're gonna see what we can't do. What is today, Clay?
Today's Tuesday, the 20th, October 20th.
Today's October 20th. It's about, I don't know, 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. Really haven't looked, but we're doing good on time. We're kayaking in. The water has fallen out way, way low. We can barely, I mean, we're literally, it's 2 foot out here in the kayak, if even that. I could probably step out of the kayak right now. So, yep, about to go in there and get on. Well, it's finally gotten windy enough where I can actually talk a little bit. It's 10:04, October 20th. We've spotted a stud, an absolute stud. Clay sent me a text this morning, and he said, "Deer coming to you, big boy." He's sitting about, I don't know, 100 yards or so. We're trying to cut this. We've got two sloughs. They're almost like 2 fingers. They kind of run parallel to each other, and we're kind of sitting on the edge of them to cut them off because it's almost like a pinch point through the middle of them. But yeah, I ended up seeing a deer. I don't know if it was the same deer that Clay saw, but I did see a deer, and it almost looked like it went into the edge of this slough here that I'm sitting on. Almost looked like it went in there, but Clay said that big deer was about 80 yards away from where he was sitting. And he said he thinks it's probably a 150 class deer, maybe 20 inches wide, which is an excellent deer for East Texas public land. So we are definitely going to try and hunt this deer serious and hard now that we know he's in here, which, like I said earlier, I checked my game camera that I wasn't even too excited about checking, just because we hunted in here while we were at deer camp last week. We hunted in here, and I mean, yeah, we had rub and a little bit of sign, but we just weren't seeing anything. But I went ahead and decided to check my trail camera last night. Good bucks on camera. That one big shooter, I'm pretty sure that's what Clay saw this morning, was that big shooter. And I would show you the picture of it, but it's not a real good picture because he was kind of moving through real fast. So you can't really see, but you can tell. You can see the base and you can see the body. You can tell he's a he's a stud. So yeah, we're gonna climb down here pretty soon. Try to be real quiet and be real delicate with this area, and probably move closer to where we both saw the deer. Try to get a little bit closer to their trail. So yeah, maybe we can make this thing happen soon. We We need that guy to take a ride in the kayak is what we need. October 21st. Back in here for the morning hunt. Same place we hunted yesterday morning. Had a crazy experience this morning. Probably one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me in the woods. When me and Clay were walking in, we split. As soon as we split to, kind of split to go to our spots, we were no further than about 40 yards apart, and he whistled at me. We both had our headlamps on, coming in early in the morning, and I turned around, and when I did, 2 doe were headed straight at me. Well, the 2 doe nearly knocked me down. I literally braced myself thinking they were about to hit me, and they went right beside me. Behind them was a hoss of a buck. I mean a hoss. He was a nice buck. Came within petting distance and just kind of shuffled around a little bit. Wasn't sure what I was. Didn't blow. Wasn't flagging, I mean, he wasn't sure what we were. He was chasing those doe, but I could have reached out and pet that buck, which was a pretty wild experience. But anyway, so that's a new buck. I have several other bucks on camera, but that's actually a new buck that we haven't seen on camera yet. The buck we have on camera, which Clay saw yesterday, is the buck we're going to call Flat Top. He's real wide, kind of low, low profile horns, I guess you would say. But he's just real old buck, real wide, and not real tall. But man, he's a beast. But we're gonna call him Flat Top, and that's the one we're really after. But I would love to kill that other buck that we saw this morning on the way in. I mean, they're both super nice bucks. But anyway, we're gonna hunt one more morning. We're gonna hunt tomorrow morning, and then we'll be headed out to Arkansas tomorrow evening. So maybe one of those 2 bucks will slip up in the morning. That's what we're hoping for. Or maybe even in the next 30 minutes to an hour that I'm gonna sit here. But it's just been so quiet this morning. I haven't really wanted to talk yet. It's just so quiet in here. Hasn't been no wind, just acorns falling. But you can hear a whisper in here. So the hunt for Flat Top continues. Well, we got everything down out of the trees. We are done at the moment with Flat Top and Stickler, but we're just giving them a little break, and we're packing up the kayak, getting everything loaded up, and we're about to go get everything in the truck, get coolers, get our bags, and we're headed to the cabin in Arkansas, and I'm pumped up. I love these trips to Arkansas. So yeah, it's been a couple years since I've got to go. Clay had to work all year last year and wasn't able to, we weren't able to do our yearly trip. Usually we spend a week up there. But it's always a blast. And yeah, I'm excited So, to be continued on Flat Top and Stickler.